Tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern Time is the Foxwoods Resort Casino 301 at New Hampshire. 301 laps around a little bit over a mile track, flat track. So a few things to talk about that have happened and that they've done to the track. If you haven't heard, there have been some incidents during practice and qualifying. The biggest topic being Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman, if you didn't know, his primary car, he was coming to the stripe to do his first qualifying lap, and his drive shaft just shot out of his car and blew up his engine and just kind of oofed his car. And so he had to go to a backup. And earlier this morning, during practice, Alex Bowman went up into one of the turns, I think 3 and 4. No, it was 1 and 2. I think it was 1 and 2. It was one of those turns, whatever. And he lost the car and hit the wall. And he wrecked it pretty good, and they had to get the backup out. The only issue, you only bring 2 cars to the track. So where are you going to get the third? They got teammate Jimmy Johnson's car. Yeah, Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion. And what they did, they got that car out, and because it's a wrap on that car, not paint like the Exalta cars, they literally had to peel off everything. They had to peel off the numbers, sponsors, the name on top of, over the door, over the window. They had to do basically everything, peel it off, and they're going to have to put a wrap on it, even though it's Exalta and they usually paint it, but it's last second, it's kind of hard to do, so yeah. But anyways, so that will be difficult for that team. They should say, thank God we don't have any more practices to mess up in. So they qualified. They didn't even qualify a lap. They will be starting in the back, obviously, last. There's been a lot of practice incidents, actually. Alex Bowman is not the only one. His teammate William Byron, Ryan Newman's going to a backup car. There's a lot. There's like 5 or 6. I'm just gonna go down the list here. Larson, I think he's going to a backup car. Who else? Hamlin, I think Hamlin's going to a backup car. I mean, there's a good amount of guys that are going to the back because they wrecked in practice. I don't think anyone wrecked in qualifying, but it's been a little weird. They've added some PJ1, which is the sticky stuff. They added it on the bottom lane, the very bottom lane, and then from lanes 3 to the wall. So usually guys run that second lane, so that they're just leaving that natural, letting guys run that by itself. But everything else is sticky, PJ1, and it's messed guys up, I guess. They're just not used to it, or they just go a little bit too hard into the turns and it doesn't stick. Going from that natural groove and you slip up into the sticky stuff, maybe it messes up your grip on the tires or whatever, or on the car, I don't know. But it's caused some incidents, and that's just in practice single car runs. Imagine what it's like when there's 37 cars on the track at once, all diving into turn 1 or turn 4 or turn 3 or whatever. And they're all, let's say it's a late race caution, a bunch of guys stayed out on old tires. How's that going to work? They all going to pile into the wall? I don't know. Someone's going to slip up, crash. So I think there's a small chance, just a small chance, that this race could end up being a crap fest. Like the end of the Roval last year, kind of crap fest, like big wrecks going into the turn if you're on old tires. Some just mistakes that cause wrecks. I think there's a small chance it could turn out to be one of those. New Hampshire is not really known for that. New Hampshire has had fuel mileage races. It has had last endings, like good endings. Like last year, Harvick's bump and run. Harvick had 6 wins after this race last year. You know how many he has right now? 0. Is he my pick for the race? I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But Brad Keselowski is on pole. Next to him is his best friend forever, Kyle Busch. So Penske and Gibbs, once again, doing pretty good. Chevy's won 3 consecutive races. They look to continue that streak. Their best shot right now is looking like Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch is starting 3rd tomorrow. He had a really good qualifying run. He's got speed in the car. They got a win under their belt. So they're going to go out there and try to get some more wins and more playoff points. So expect them to be a contender. Another thing, I don't know the length of the stages, but I heard Steve Letarte say that you do not need to make a stop for fuel in the stages, the first stage at least. So that will be a factor, I think. It'll be like Sonoma. Who's going to stay out? Who's going to stay out to win the stage or get stage points? and who's going to go and pit and strategize for stage 2 and potentially later in the race. I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but who knows how that'll play out. I don't even know. But some guys to look at. Eric Jones has had a fast car. He was fast in practice. Starting 4th. Ryan Blaney starting 5th. He's had some fast cars in practices. Thing about Jones and Blaney, they're the 2 guys in their organizations who are the only ones without a win. So Jones the only one in Joe Gibbs without a win, and Blaney the only one in Penske without a win. So I think they will be itching for their first win. Starting 6th is Martin Truex Jr., one of his mini home tracks. He's looking to get his first New Hampshire win. Matt DiBenedetto stunned us all in qualifying. He had a really fast car in practice, and he is starting 7th. So I expect him to get a top 10 in this race. He's been looking pretty good this weekend. But my pick for the race, man, this is tough. I don't think Chevy wins it. I think that streak ends this weekend. But I got it down to the guy starting 5th and 6th. I got Blaney because he's got a pretty fast car, and I got Truex. And, man, I think I'm going to go with Truex. Truex has never won here. He's been itching to win here for a while. I expect him to run well. He's starting up front. I expect him to stay up front. I got him winning the race. I think he'll get himself a nice big win, add some playoff points to the already many he has. So, I got Martin Truex Jr. winning. Ryan Blaney will look good, though. I think he'll get a good finish. I think he'll have a good day. It should be an interesting race, but if it's a crap fest, then it's a crap fest. If not, then not. But lots of guys having to drop to the rear. Lots of weird things going on. But, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow I'll have the race recap once the race is over. And then Monday I got a special video, like something I've never done before. It's a very unique video that I've never done before. I gave a hint on Twitter if you can figure it out. But it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a fun video. It has nothing to do with NASCAR or NBA and sports in general, really. But I hope you guys enjoy it. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Leave it a big fat like if you liked it. And subscribe to the channel because that will be 10 out of 10.